There comes a moment in life when Allah no longer answers you with explanations, no more clarity through words, no more comfort through understanding. Instead, things begin to move. People leave. Feelings change. Doors close without discussion. This is not punishment. This is transformation. When Allah stops explaining, it is because your heart is ready for something deeper than answers. It is ready for change. At first, the absence of closure feels unbearable. The heart keeps waiting for one final conversation, one explanation that would make everything make sense. You replay moments in your mind, hoping the meaning will suddenly reveal itself. But Allah allows the silence to remain. Not because you are ignored, but because your heart is being trained to survive without answers. There is a unique pain in not knowing why something ended. It leaves the soul restless, searching for reasons that never arrive. Yet within that restlessness, Allah begins a subtle work. The heart slowly loosens its grip on what it once clung to. The ache remains, but the desperation fades. You begin to notice that the questions no longer control your days. They still exist, but they no longer sit in your chest like a weight. This is not because you understood what happened. It is because Allah is removing your emotional dependency on understanding. Closure often keeps attachment alive under the illusion of peace. Allah knows that some explanations would only reopen wounds, so instead of giving answers, He gives distance within the heart. This distance does not feel like relief at first. It feels like emptiness. But emptiness is often where healing begins. There comes a moment when you realize you no longer check for signs, messages, or memories the way you once did. Not because you forced yourself to stop, but because the urge simply softened. Allah replaces obsession with stillness. The heart learns to rest without resolution. Inner detachment does not arrive suddenly. It comes quietly, almost unnoticed. One day you wake up and realize the pain no longer dictates your mood. The memory exists, but it does not own you. This is a mercy disguised as loss. Allah understands that some hearts would remain stuck if given explanations, so He removes the need for them. You stop waiting for someone else to complete your healing. Allah becomes the one who closes what people left open. There is a strange peace that arrives when you accept not knowing. It does not feel like happiness. It feels like release. The heart stops demanding answers and starts allowing life to move forward. You may still feel sadness, but it is no longer sharp. It no longer demands reaction. It sits quietly, respected, but not obeyed. This is emotional maturity, shaped by divine intervention. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop suffering for what no longer serves your growth. Allah teaches the heart to let go without bitterness. This is a rare and sacred lesson. When closure is removed, faith is tested. You are asked to trust Allah without explanation. This trust strengthens the soul in ways understanding never could. The heart becomes anchored in Allah instead of circumstances. You begin to realize that some endings were never meant to be understood, only survived. Allah replaces the need to know with the ability to endure, and endurance shapes character. The heart slowly stops asking what went wrong and starts accepting what is gone. Acceptance does not erase pain, but it removes resistance. Resistance is what prolongs suffering. You notice that memories lose their emotional charge. They become neutral, like distant echoes. This is not forgetting. This is Allah protecting your heart from reopening wounds. Detachment allows you to breathe again. Not fully at first, but enough to continue. Allah does not rush healing. He unfolds it gently, layer by layer. There is strength in realizing that you can live without answers. That strength is not yours alone. It is given. Allah carries you through the uncertainty until your heart learns balance. You stop needing someone else to validate your pain. Allah becomes sufficient witness to what you endured. Being seen by Him replaces the need to be acknowledged by others. The heart no longer begs for clarity because it has tasted peace without it. This peace is quiet and deep. It does not shout, it settles. Detachment teaches you that not every door closes with understanding, but every door closes with purpose. Allah does not waste pain. He transforms it. In time, you realize that closure was never the goal. Freedom was. And Allah gave you freedom by loosening the chains of emotional attachment. What once felt like abandonment reveals itself as divine protection. Allah did not leave you without answers to hurt you. He did it to heal you from what would have kept you tied. Inner detachment is not the end of feeling. It is the beginning of peace. And when Allah grants peace without explanation, it is a sign that He has taken control of your healing. At the beginning, your du'as are filled with questions. Your heart is heavy, confused, and desperate for clarity. You ask Allah again and again why something happened, why it ended the way it did, and why the pain feels so unfair. These questions come from sincerity, but they also come from a heart still holding on. Every unanswered question feels like silence. You wait for signs, for sudden understanding, for something to explain the chaos inside you. But Allah allows the questions to echo without response. Not because your dua is wrong, but because your heart is being prepared for a deeper form of connection. Slowly, something shifts within you. You notice that asking why no longer brings comfort. The questions feel exhausting instead of relieving. Your soul becomes tired of circling the same confusion, and this tiredness opens a door to surrender. Without realizing it, your dua changes. You stop asking for explanations and begin asking for strength. Your words soften. Your requests become simpler. Instead of demanding answers, you ask Allah to hold your heart steady through the uncertainty. This change does not come from giving up. It comes from growth. The heart realizes that knowing everything would not heal the pain. Being guided through it will. Allah redirects your dua because He is redirecting your heart. You begin to ask Allah to guide your thoughts, your reactions, and your next steps. You no longer want to control the outcome. You want to walk correctly, even if the path is unclear. This is a sign of spiritual maturity forming quietly. There is humility in asking for guidance instead of answers. It means you trust Allah's wisdom more than your own understanding. You accept that His plan may not make sense to you now, but it is still unfolding with purpose. Your dua becomes less emotional and more intentional. You ask for peace, patience, and alignment with what Allah wants for you. These are not desperate requests. They are surrendered ones. When you ask for guidance, Allah begins shaping your decisions. You become more cautious with your heart. You pause before reacting. You reflect before speaking. This guidance shows up in subtle ways, not dramatic signs. You realize that guidance protects you from paths that would harm your soul. Answers might satisfy curiosity, but guidance safeguards your future. Allah gives what benefits you most. As your dua changes, your expectations change too. You stop expecting immediate relief. You begin accepting gradual transformation. This acceptance lightens the heart even before circumstances change. There is comfort in knowing you are being led, even if you do not know where yet. Trust replaces anxiety. Faith replaces urgency. Allah fills the space where questions once lived. Your relationship with Allah deepens in this phase. You speak to Him more honestly, more quietly, and more consistently. You no longer come only with confusion, you come with submission. Guidance-oriented dua shapes your inner world. You become less reactive to people and more responsive to Allah. This inner alignment is a powerful protection. You start noticing signs of growth within yourself. Your patience increases, your tolerance expands, your emotional reactions soften. These are answers in a different form. Allah often stops explaining because explanations satisfy the mind, while guidance transforms the heart. The heart needs direction, not details. Your dua becomes a place of rest rather than struggle. You are no longer wrestling with Allah's decree. You are leaning into it. This shift marks the moment when trust becomes real. Not spoken, not claimed, but lived. You trust Allah even without clarity. You realize that guidance keeps you close to Allah, while answers might have allowed you to walk away satisfied. Allah chooses closeness over comfort for you. When you stop asking why, your heart becomes lighter. Not because the pain disappeared, but because you stopped carrying it alone. Allah carries it with you. Guidance teaches you how to walk through life with faith, not fear. It teaches you how to move forward without bitterness. This change in dua is a sign that Allah is no longer teaching you through words. He is shaping you through direction, and that is a deeper mercy than explanation. There comes a point when you are no longer overwhelmed with questions, but you are deeply tired. Not the kind of tiredness that comes from losing faith, but the kind that comes from carrying emotions for too long. Your heart feels worn, yet your connection to Allah remains intact. This distinction matters more than you realize. Emotional exhaustion settles in when you have struggled internally without rest. You have tried to understand, to fix, to hold on, and to let go all at once. Allah allows this exhaustion to arrive because it ends the fight within you. Fighting delays healing. Tiredness invites surrender. You still pray. You still remember Allah. You still feel drawn to Him, but you no longer have the energy to argue with what has already happened. This is not spiritual weakness. It is the soul laying down its weapons. Spiritual emptiness feels distant from Allah. Emotional tiredness feels closer to Him than ever. You turn to Allah not with intensity, but with honesty. You no longer perform strength, you show need. There is a softness that comes with this fatigue. You become less reactive, less defensive, less desperate. The heart slows down. This slowing is intentional. Allah calms the storm before reshaping the landscape. When emotional exhaustion arrives, the ego weakens. Control loses its grip. The need to manage outcomes fades. This is when Allah begins deeper work, because the heart is finally open. You may feel numb at times, but that numbness is protection. Allah shields your heart from further overload while healing takes place beneath the surface. Silence becomes a form of mercy. You stop trying to convince yourself of anything. You stop forcing optimism. You allow yourself to be human. Allah does not demand performance in this phase. He invites presence. There is clarity in tiredness. You realize what truly matters and what drained you unnecessarily. Emotional exhaustion removes illusions and reveals truth. This truth may be uncomfortable, but it is cleansing. You find yourself choosing rest over reaction, distance over drama, calm over chaos. These choices are signs of wisdom forming, not avoidance. Allah teaches restraint through fatigue. Your worship may become quieter, but it becomes more sincere. Fewer words, deeper meaning. You no longer pray to feel better. You pray because you need Allah. This phase humbles the soul. You acknowledge limits. You accept that you cannot carry everything. Allah does not break you to humble you. He gently empties what you were never meant to hold alone. Emotional tiredness creates space. In that space, Allah places trust. Trust grows best in stillness, not struggle. The heart learns reliance without resistance. You notice that you no longer chase reassurance. You no longer seek constant emotional relief. You accept what is, while remaining connected to Allah. This balance is powerful. There is a quiet resilience forming beneath the fatigue. You are not collapsing. You are recalibrating. Allah strengthens you through rest, not pressure. You may withdraw from noise and people during this phase. This withdrawal is not isolation, it is protection. Allah often pulls His servants inward before elevating them outward. The exhaustion teaches you self-respect. You stop allowing emotional drains. You guard your heart more carefully. This guarding is not fear, it is wisdom. Your tears may come less frequently, but when they come, they are honest. No drama, no complaint, just truth before Allah. These are the tears He values most. You realize that faith does not always feel strong. Sometimes it feels quiet, steady, and tired. And Allah accepts faith in all its forms. Emotional exhaustion signals that a chapter is ending. The heart is done fighting for what Allah has already removed. Acceptance begins here. In this tiredness, Allah is not distant. He is near, carrying what you can no longer carry. The soul rests while He works. Feeling emotionally tired but spiritually intact is a sign of transformation. Allah is not draining you. He is preparing you for peace that does not require effort. Sometimes the most confusing endings are the quiet ones. There is no argument, no confrontation, no final moment that explains everything. People simply drift out of your life, and you are left holding silence instead of answers. Allah allows this kind of ending because loud exits would have wounded you deeper than silence ever could. When someone leaves without drama, the ego feels unsettled. The mind searches for reasons, trying to create a story where none was given. But Allah does not always allow stories to form. He removes people quietly so your heart can detach without bitterness. Not every departure requires confrontation. Some connections expire naturally when growth happens. Allah knows when someone's presence would delay your development, so He removes them gently, without chaos. There is wisdom in quiet separation. Drama creates emotional scars that take time to heal. Silence allows the heart to accept without reopening wounds. Allah chooses mercy over explanation. At first, the absence feels strange. You wonder how something meaningful could end without acknowledgement. But over time you realize that peace replaced the noise. This peace is not accidental. It is divine protection. When people fall away quietly, Allah is sparing you emotional damage. He is preventing you from saying words you cannot take back or hearing words that would have broken you. Silence becomes a shield. You may notice that you do not feel angry toward those who left. There is sadness, but no rage. This is a sign that Allah has removed toxicity without leaving poison behind. Quiet exits allow you to remember people without pain. The memories exist, but they do not burn. Allah preserves what was good while removing what was no longer beneficial. This kind of separation teaches acceptance. You stop fighting reality and start trusting divine timing. Allah ends connections at the exact moment they stop serving your soul. When drama is absent, reflection increases. You begin to see the relationship clearly, without emotional noise. Allah grants insight through distance. People falling away silently also reveals who remains by choice, not convenience. Allah refines your circle without explanation, leaving only what aligns with your future. There is humility in letting people leave without resistance. You stop chasing, convincing, or explaining. Allah trains your heart to release with dignity. Sometimes, Allah removes people because they were meant to be a chapter, not the story. Quiet endings honor the role they played without overstaying their purpose. You realize that not every goodbye needs words. Some goodbyes are written through distance, not dialogue. Allah speaks through outcomes. This sign often comes with emotional calm. The heart no longer feels pulled in opposing directions. Allah simplifies your emotional world. When people leave without drama, it is because Allah is protecting both sides. He removes friction before resentment forms. This is mercy disguised as loss. You learn that closure does not always come from conversation. Sometimes it comes from peace. Allah closes doors gently when your heart is ready. There is strength in allowing silent departures. It shows trust in Allah's judgment over your own attachments. You accept what He removes. Quiet separation teaches you boundaries without confrontation. You learn when to let go without hardening your heart. As people fall away, you notice space opening within you. This space is not emptiness. It is room for growth, healing, and better alignment. Allah removes people quietly when their purpose in your life is complete. If it ended without drama, it ended with protection. Silence does not mean the connection lacked value. It means its season ended gracefully. And Allah always ends seasons at the right time. Silence does not arrive suddenly. It grows slowly as the heart becomes less interested in explaining itself. You begin to realize that not every thought needs to be spoken, and not every emotion needs to be displayed. Allah teaches restraint by reducing the urge to respond. You notice that you listen more than you speak. Conversations feel different now. You observe tones, intentions, and pauses instead of reacting to words. This awareness is not suspicion. It is wisdom forming quietly. Your silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. The heart is processing more deeply, choosing reflection over reaction. Allah refines your inner world before allowing outward expression. There was a time when you felt the need to defend your feelings. Now you feel less compelled to explain. This is not because you stopped caring, but because Allah is teaching you that peace does not require justification. Being observant sharpens your discernment. You begin to notice patterns in people and situations that you once overlooked. Allah opens your eyes when He quiets your tongue. Silence becomes a form of protection. You no longer give access to your inner world so easily. Allah teaches you boundaries without hardening your heart. You become careful with words because you understand their weight. You have seen how quickly words can harm or heal. Allah trains you to speak only when it benefits your soul or someone else's. In this phase, reactions soften. You pause before responding, allowing emotions to settle. This pause is where wisdom lives. Allah slows you down so you do not act from impulse. Observing without reacting gives you clarity. You see situations as they are, not as you wish them to be. Allah removes emotional fog through stillness. Your silence is often misunderstood. Some may think you are distant or changed, but Allah knows that growth often looks like withdrawal before strength. You find comfort in being quiet, not because you are hiding, but because your heart feels safer there. Allah provides rest through reduced noise. The need to explain yourself fades. You trust that Allah knows your intentions, and that becomes enough. Being seen by Him replaces being understood by others. Observant hearts notice energy, not just behavior. You sense when something is off without needing proof. Allah sharpens intuition through silence. You speak less, but when you do speak, your words carry weight. They are measured, thoughtful, and sincere. Allah purifies speech by limiting it. This silence is not loneliness. It is companionship with your own thoughts and with Allah. You feel less dependent on external validation. You begin to choose when to engage and when to withdraw. This choice brings peace. Allah teaches you control without force. Being observant also means recognizing your own patterns. You see where you once reacted from hurt. Allah allows self-awareness to grow gently. Silence teaches patience. You allow things to unfold without interference. Allah shows you that not everything requires your involvement. Your presence becomes calmer. You bring less chaos into rooms, more stillness. Allah reflects inner change outwardly. This phase protects you from unnecessary conflict. You no longer argue to be right. You prefer peace over victory. Silence and observation are signs of inner alignment. Allah is shaping a heart that responds with wisdom, not noise. There was a time when being understood felt essential. You wanted people to know your intentions, your struggles, and your reasons. Misunderstanding felt painful, almost unbearable. But slowly, that need begins to fade, and Allah replaces it with something steadier. You start realizing that explaining yourself often costs more energy than it gives relief. The heart grows tired of justifying its truth to those who are not meant to receive it. Allah teaches you that peace is more valuable than clarity in the eyes of others. Misinterpretation no longer shakes you the way it once did. You may notice it, but it does not disturb your inner calm. This is not indifference. It is emotional security rooted in faith. You trust Allah as the ultimate witness of your intentions. Knowing that He understands you fully makes human misunderstanding feel lighter. Allah fills the need to be seen with the comfort of being known by Him. Choosing peace means walking away from arguments you could win. It means remaining silent even when you have the words to defend yourself. Allah strengthens you through restraint, not reaction. There is relief in not needing approval. You stop measuring yourself by how others perceive you. Allah redirects your focus inward, where true growth happens. You realize that not everyone deserves access to your explanations. Some people listen to respond, not to understand. Allah protects your heart by teaching you discernment. This phase teaches you self-respect. You honor your emotional limits. You refuse to reopen wounds just to prove your innocence. Allah does not ask you to bleed for validation. When peace becomes priority, you choose calm conversations over loud clarity. You allow others to hold their opinions without trying to change them. Allah teaches acceptance without surrendering truth. You become comfortable being misunderstood for a season. You trust that what is real will eventually reveal itself. Allah handles what you no longer try to control. There is strength in letting go of the need to correct every false narrative. Allah teaches you that time exposes truth better than arguments. Your heart feels lighter when you stop explaining. The constant tension dissolves. Peace settles in spaces once filled with anxiety. Allah replaces noise with stillness. You begin to guard your energy carefully. You notice how draining certain conversations are. Allah trains you to step back before exhaustion arrives. This sign reflects inner confidence. You no longer need external agreement to feel secure. Allah anchors your worth in faith, not feedback. Peace becomes your compass. Decisions are made based on inner alignment, not external approval. Allah refines your priorities through calm. You stop trying to control how others perceive you. You focus on how you stand before Allah. This shift brings clarity that explanation never could. Misunderstanding no longer feels like rejection. It feels like redirection. Allah separates you from environments that require constant defense. You become selective with words and selective with people. This selectiveness is not pride. It is protection taught by experience. Choosing peace does not mean you lack a voice. It means you use it wisely. Allah teaches timing as much as truth. This stage teaches you emotional independence. You are no longer held hostage by others' perceptions. Allah frees your heart gently. When peace matters more than being understood, it is a sign that Allah has stabilized your heart. You no longer need to prove yourself. You are secure in His understanding. There comes a moment when life begins to shift without announcement. No preparation, no explanation, no clear signal that change is coming. Things simply start moving in a direction you did not plan. Allah initiates change quietly when the heart is ready. You notice routines breaking apart and new patterns forming. What once felt stable no longer holds you, and what once felt distant begins to approach. Allah rearranges life when inner alignment has already taken place. These changes feel unfamiliar at first. They may even feel unsettling, but beneath the uncertainty is a strange sense of calm. Allah does not move your life without first strengthening your heart. Opportunities appear without effort. Doors open where none existed. You did not ask for these changes directly, yet they arrive at the perfect time. This is Allah responding to growth you did not realize had occurred. You stop forcing outcomes. Things begin to flow naturally. Decisions feel easier. Resistance fades. Allah removes struggle when surrender has been learned. Life moves differently because you move differently. Your reactions have softened. Your expectations have matured. Allah aligns circumstances with your new inner state. Some changes are subtle. A shift in mindset, a change in priorities, a quieter approach to life. Allah reshapes your direction from the inside before the outside reflects it. You realize that what once caused fear now feels manageable. Challenges arise, but they do not overwhelm you. Allah increases capacity before increasing responsibility. The timing feels intentional. Even when you do not understand the sequence, there is a sense that everything is unfolding as it should. Allah's precision becomes visible only after movement begins. People respond to you differently. Energy shifts. Interactions change. Allah reflects inner transformation through external experiences. Life feels less chaotic, even during uncertainty. This calm is not situational. It is rooted in trust. Allah stabilizes the heart so life can move without breaking it. You may grieve the old version of life as it fades, but you also feel relief. Allah closes chapters once their lessons have settled. Unexpected clarity appears. You understand what truly matters now. Priorities rearrange themselves without effort. Allah simplifies life when confusion has done its work. Change no longer feels like punishment. It feels like progression. Allah shifts your path to match who you have become. You stop chasing signs, because life itself becomes the sign. Movement replaces waiting. Action replaces overthinking. There is gratitude in this phase. Not loud or celebratory, but deep and steady. Allah teaches appreciation through lived experience, not words. You trust the process more now. You have seen how Allah carried you through stillness. You trust Him in movement. Life moving differently does not mean life becomes easy. It means it becomes aligned. Allah aligns effort with purpose. You no longer feel stuck between what was and what could be. You stand firmly in what is unfolding. Allah anchors you in the present. Change arrives without warning because explanation is no longer needed. Allah knows your heart understands through experience now. When life starts moving differently, it is not coincidence.